Today, we follow up on the next steps for justice after a 1-year-old was mauled to death by his babysitter's dogs 10 days ago. His family prepares to lay him to rest, and today we learn what will happen to the dogs that killed him. The woman who was supposed to take care of Jeriah Johnson, Heather Rodriguez, went before a judge this afternoon. Rodriguez surrendered the ownership of one dog to Bexar County. All 3 were taken into county custody the day Jeriah was attacked. We have team coverage now on what's happened since the attack. Marisa Mendoza was at the hearing today to learn the fate of the dogs, and Phil Sterling is live at Jeriah's visitation. We go first to Marisa, who tells us why Rodriguez is fighting for her dogs.
Rodriguez joined the civil trial nearly 2 hours late. After hearing all of the evidence, though, the judge ruled that all 3 of her dogs to be euthanized. The courtroom heard the last cries from 1-year-old Jeriah Johnson and Heather Rodriguez's 13-year-old daughter pleading for help. The teen was begging 911 operators to send officers because her mom's 3 dogs just mauled Jeriah inside their home, which ultimately led to his death. The arrest affidavit describes the horrific injuries 1-year-old Jeriah Johnson suffered on October 7th. It states in part deputies found the infant laying on the floor, bloody with lacerations and bite marks all over his face and head, with a large cut on the right side of his mouth, a large laceration from the top bridge of his nose, and a large laceration on the top of his head. The civil hearing was to determine if Heather Rodriguez would remain the owner of those dogs. After more than a 2-hour hearing, the state decided to seize the remaining dogs involved in Jeriah's death.
It's tragic that anytime an animal has to be euthanized, but I really feel like this is about responsible dog ownership, which is what we always say. We don't try to demonize any particular breed, but more often than not, we find that dangerous dogs are a result of irresponsible ownership, where dogs have either been neglected to the point of being aggressive, or just their behavior hasn't been corrected.
36-year-old Rodriguez remains in jail for injury to a child, reckless bodily injury, a state jail felony, endangering a child, imminent danger causing bodily injury, a second-degree felony. That's in addition to her original charge of injury to a child with intent, causing serious bodily injury, which is a first-degree felony. All the charges stemming from Rodriguez leaving her 13-year-old daughter alone to babysit 1-year-old Jeriah Johnson with her dogs in the home. The dogs eventually broke through the door, attacking and injuring her daughter and killing the 1-year-old. Right now, all 3 dogs remain in quarantine. They're away from each other and other dogs in animal control custody. Heather Rodriguez has 10 days to appeal this verdict. From the far southeast side, Marisa Mendoza, News 4, San Antonio.
Thank you, Marisa. Tough to hear about. Now we go to Phil Sterling at the visitation for Jeriah on the southeast side. Phil, what's the mood out there?
It's somber here at Heritage Oaks Mortuary Chapel, where dozens of family and friends have shown up to show their support for Jeriah Johnson's family. Visitation began at 4, and the service is less than an hour. Out of respect, we've been asked to stand outside, but inside they have a priest providing service. Then we'll be showing a slideshow highlighting good moments Johnson had in his life. Family says once the ceremony is over, they'll be taking Johnson to Mesquite, which is near Dallas, to be buried. Family members also told me that they hope his death changes some laws to help notify the public of dangerous animals. Reporting from San Antonio, Phil Sterling, News 4, San Antonio.
Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to hit that like and subscribe button to get all the latest updates right here.